Okay, this is the example that we did yesterday in class, x, y minus 4 equals 0. What was our angle? Well, first of all, what did we classify it as? What type of conic? What was our angle of rotation? And what was our final standard form?
X squared over 8 minus y squared over 8.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do to graph it. Here is your x, y axis. I would suggest doing this on non-graph paper, okay? Because what you're going to do is whatever your angle is, you're going to draw a new set of axes. So since this is a pi over 4 angle, this is going to be my x prime axis. And then perpendicular to that, here's our y prime axis. Okay. If it were me, I would take my paper. I can't do that because my paper is literally attached to the wall. And I would turn it so that the y prime axis was going north and south from me. Okay? You are going to now graph this conic on the x prime, y prime plane, if you will. And this is also why I'm suggesting not to use graph paper, because you will want to make tick marks on the x prime, y prime axis to get kind of your sense of units. Yes?
Could you cheat and make the grids like your x prime, y prime axis, and then draw the x, y graph based off that?
So
He means
like you were labeled this x prime, y prime. Is that what?
Yeah.
I actually would prefer you to do it like this, so that when you look at your paper, you see a tilted conic.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now you can use graph paper, you just can't use like the grids.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. We're turning all of them that way. Okay, so how do we graph a hyperbola? Is this a horizontal or vertical hyperbola? Horizontal, with a center of?
0, 0.
Okay. Now, our A value would be radical 8. So for our vertices, we're going to move 1, 2, almost 3 away. And those are our vertices. Okay. Our B value is radical 8. So vertically, I'm going to move 1, 2, almost 3 away. And then I'm going to make our box here. And our asymptotes have to go through the corners. In this case, our asymptotes do go through the corners on the real x and y axis. And then our hyperbola would look like this. Now, is that something that we've graphed before? Look at just the black. Mm-hmm.
So you'll always turn it counterclockwise then?
Always counterclockwise. Mm-hmm. So, like on 22, if you were to go and graph that, your X and Y prime axes would be 60 degrees. So you'd have to draw them more like here. Okay? I don't expect you to get a little compass out to figure out, or a protractor, excuse me. I don't expect you to get a protractor out to figure out exactly, but be as close as you can. Alright? I'm not going to make you label everything. I'm really just going to look at the picture. But just note that if I said that my vertices were at plus or minus radical 8, 0, that is the x prime, y prime coordinate. That's not actually the coordinate on the xy plane. We're graphing it based on x prime, y prime. Yes?
So on the test, are we gonna have to write the vertices and the asymptotes and all that jazz?
Not of the rotated conics.
Alright.
I just want you to graph it, and that's all I need. Okay? So, for the next 18 minutes of class, you are going to work on the assignment from last night. If you are finished and all of your equations match mine with the correct work, you can graph those four. Basically, your extra homework, or your homework assignment is just graphing the ones that you did last night. Yes?
This is just a curiosity question. So is that actually like a, whatever that graph is, where it's like over x? It is?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, because if you moved it over, it is.
We could have graphed it a lot easier the other way though, right? But it's cool to know that this is a rotated hyperbola,
Yeah.
right? We didn't know. Okay. I will probably give you a little less than 15 minutes to work and then talk to you about your quiz from the other day. But I want to give you a few minutes to at least get started on graphing these and or fixing mistakes from yesterday.